manager of the Walpole Farmers Market, and I would like you to meet my special guest. This is Sean Keenan. Sean Keenan, well, tell me about yourself.
I'm the owner of 4 Acre Farms in Norfolk, Mass. We have a small property that we started in the spring of 2014. We primarily do animals on the main property. So we have chickens for eggs, turkeys for Thanksgiving, and pasture-raised pork. We also have a separate segment. We lease land at a different site where we grow most of our produce.
Very good. Well, now, didn't I buy some duck eggs?
Yes, we do
What about ducks?
We do have a couple ducks that we've been experimenting with. We're hoping to expand our flock next year, so we have more duck eggs. But yeah, it was just a little experiment this year, so we didn't have a lot of inventory, but it was popular enough that we thought next year we'll add some more.
So I'm lucky that I got some.
Yes.
And they don't taste any different than chickens, or
just
am I
slightly.
wrong?
They're twice the size of a chicken egg, so that's exciting. People, get a surprise. And my niece loves them because she's allowed to have 2 eggs, so she'll pick 2 duck eggs, and they'll be twice as big. So she's kind of worked the system there a little bit. But they're about the same, just like turkey and chicken have slightly different flavors. Duck eggs and chicken eggs have slightly different flavors, but they're excellent for baking. People who love to bake really like duck eggs because they have a very rich flavor, even more so than just our chicken eggs over store eggs. Our chicken eggs, because they get to free range, they're not in a big factory farm. We have a small coop. We only have 25 hens, and they get so much time outdoors. Their egg yolks are much darker orange, which is the natural way they're supposed to be. And they're also higher in vitamins and minerals and flavor.
That's why I'm enjoying them so much.
Yeah.
I haven't started baking yet, so
We're never too young to start. Yeah.
So next week I have to make sure that I buy some more eggs, because next week's our last week for the farmers market.
Yes.
But
they will be available all winter as long as the chickens are laying. So.
Well, then you'll see me. I will be there. So, but now tell me more about your animals. You mentioned pigs.
Yes.
And
we
and
pasture-raised pigs on it's about 2¼ acre pasture that's dedicated just for the pigs. And this year we did a co-op with our neighboring farm, and we had 10 pigs. And they're heritage, they're Yorkshire Berkshire crosses, and they're out there enjoying the field like pigs should. They get to wallow in mud and sleep in the grass. I like to call them lawn sausages because often they're just sleeping in the tall grass and certain sections in the sun in the morning, and then in the shade in the afternoon when it's warmer. So they're out there excited. They see you coming with the dinner and they oink at you and they run over. We feed them all GMO-free grain mixes, and we try to raise them organically. The farm property is not certified organic, unfortunately, but we don't do anything that would violate organic, so we are organic practice.
That's great. And you name your pigs?
We do not. We don't want to get too attached to them because they, after all, do go off to the processor to be eaten. We don't keep any, we don't have any breeding on site. We actually get our piglets from a historic Massachusetts farm down in Westport, who's been breeding pigs for about 150 years. So we were excited when we found them, and we've been getting piglets from them in the springtime or late winter, depending on when we time it, so that we raise them up in the summer and they go off in the fall.
And they've already gone off, haven't they?
The last group just went, yes. So we'll have pork this Saturday at the farmers market for people if they pre-ordered it.
I didn't pre-order.
I don't think you did. Better get that order in.
Oh, well, I'm going to, because I heard that your pork chops are better than to die for.
Anybody else's, yes.
That's what I heard.
Wait, that's what we think.
Well, I believe. I'm a believer. And now, what about your turkey? I know I ordered turkey for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And one of the reasons I don't like turkey, but I love to cook it. I love the smell, and I love the fact that your turkeys are small.
Yes, they're heritage breed turkeys. We have 2 breeds this year. We have midget whites and bourbon reds, and so they're a smaller turkey breed than you would find in the store. When you go to wherever, you're going to buy a broad-breasted turkey, and so they've been commercialized genetically bred to be huge, just obese turkeys. They can't really survive past a year of age if they wanted to. They only exist because people keep them around. And so our turkeys are just like wild turkeys. They can forage, they can fly, they can cause all sorts of trouble. They like to strut a lot and impress the ladies. So we get all the natural turkey behavior, and they're also smaller so that they can survive in the wild if they needed to be. Obviously, we don't let them run around wild. They have their own coop, and they do free range with the chickens. So they get out to eat lots of clover. They love clover. And now all the grasshoppers and stuff that are out for, in the fall, they eat bugs, and they get everything that a turkey should be eating. Not to mention all of the seconds that don't make it to the farmer's market. So our chickens and turkeys eat pretty well. And of course, their stipend, their main source of food is GMO-free grains, just like the pigs get. So we have some silos on the farm that we fill up and feed them from. So I never thought I'd be buying thousands of pounds of grain at a time, but here I am.
That's the one. Now, I know I ordered one for Thanksgiving. So what's the next step? Because they're running around now.
Yes. So in November, right before Thanksgiving, they have an appointment with a processor. So I'll drop them off, and then I'll pick them up later that day, and then they'll come back and they'll get dropped off, or if people have arranged to pick them up, we'll be in contact with everybody who's ordered them to arrange a time.
Great, that's great. And you don't call them a butcher, it's a processor. I like that word better.
Butchers, have more of the, you see them at Stop and Shop and they're working the deli counter. That's kind of the idea people have of them. But technically, yes, they are butchers. Processors, I call them that because they do everything from taking the live animal to giving you a wonderfully wrapped up, delicious steak or turkey in this case.
So they take care of all that,
Right.
and so the turkey that I receive will be
USDA
beautiful.
inspected and ready to go. Yep.
Oh, great. And then the pork chops. Now it's pork. Do you sell just pork chops or?
We have all sorts of things from the pigs: ham steaks, pork chops, loin roasts, bacon, both smoked and unsmoked, or pork belly if you don't want it sliced, sausages, ground pork, spare ribs.
Wow.
I don't think I'm forgetting anything.
It sounds like
Anything you'd buy at the store.
Pork belly. What's that?
Bacon is pork belly.
Oh.
But people have recipes for whole pieces of pork belly. It's actually very trendy nowadays. So we've had a lot of people asking us about, buying a 1 or 2 pound piece of pork belly, just bacon that's unsliced, uncured, unsalted, unsmoked, just plain, straight from the pig, that they're going to, put into some recipe, maybe slow cook or deep fry themselves. And there's all sorts of wonderful ways you can cook it.
That's wonderful. Now, let's talk more about your farm.
Yep.
Now, did you grow up on this farm?
I did not. No, I grew up in Rhode Island. I transplanted to Massachusetts in my 20s, and when I was purchasing my first home, I said, I want a place with space. After living in Boston for years, I was tired of looking out my window and seeing my neighbor right there. So I looked for a property that had some land, and when I purchased that, I wanted to have some chickens just to have eggs, and I always loved to garden. My father and mother garden, my grandparents garden, so it was something we always did. I had a small vegetable garden, but it was 40 by 40, so it was actually a big vegetable garden, and so I wanted to go back and garden, and since I had so much space, I could have lots of stuff. And my sisters love the eggs, so I'm always getting calls and texts. Do you have any eggs? Can we have some eggs? So slowly the chicken population started increasing to cover the demand of the eggs, and then we had so many chickens. We thought, geez, we can start selling some of these, and so we thought, what else can we sell if we're going to start getting some actual production out of the birds? And it was just a great way to bring good quality food to our family and to our friends. And so the farm started.
So then you went from chickens to what next?
So chickens, after they hit their max population, we added turkeys and ducks together to our little experiment last year. And we weren't going to keep the ducks. We were just going to test them out, and then they were going to go off to be a dinner. And we liked them so much we decided to keep some of the gals around. So this year we had some eggs from them. And the turkeys, last year we tried some broad-breasted ones just to see what they would be like. So that's the big commercial turkeys. We had 2 toms. One was 37 pounds.
Wow.
Dressed, so that's after the processor got rid of everything. And then the second one was 43 pounds.
Wow.
Very big birds, yes.
How do you fit that in your oven?
Just barely. We had one of them for Thanksgiving last year, and it took 9 hours for him to cook. But it was delicious. So moist and flavorful. People really loved it. We had it Thanksgiving at my sister's house, and all of the guests there. We barely even got through one side of the breasts with all of the guests, 20-something people, and they were all raving about it. So I was very excited that I grew that. And
What about the other turkey? When did you eat that one?
that was Christmas.
Oh, Christmas.
Yep. So
you could have given them those 2 names, Thanksgiving and Christmas.
that's true. Actually, my brother-in-law named the turkey Tomasito, which means little Tom, but he was not little.
Oh.
And this year we didn't do broad-breasted. We wanted to see how the heritage breeds would do. So they're much smaller, as you mentioned earlier. They'll be in the 11 to 14 pound range.
Oh, perfect.
So much more manageable, fits in your oven, obviously, a lot easier than a 40-pound turkey.
And you don't have to eat it forever.
That's right. Although, there is something fun about turkey sandwiches and
I love
turkey soup and
well, turkey soup
turkey
is
pot
good.
pie.
Yeah, you're right. Those are good things.
Yep.
Now, let me see. We've talked about chickens, ducks, turkeys, and pigs. Is that it?
That's all the animals we have right now.
For now. You were saying to me that for the farmers market this week, which is our last week, you'll be bringing some purple peppers. How do you manage to get a purple pepper?
There are all different varieties of vegetables. So we have some sweet snacking peppers. They come in different colors: purple, yellow, orange, red. So the purple peppers just started coming in this week, and they'll be ready for the very last market. So they're very sweet. Perfect for just snacking raw. You don't have to do anything. Put them in a salad. Obviously, we have lots of green standard bell peppers, red bell peppers. We had hot peppers this year. We did some Argentinian hot peppers and jalapenos. And we had sweet Italian peppers. All sorts of fun things. Eggplants, tomatoes, all the standard squashes, onions. Next year, we're expanding to garlic.
I love your Swiss chard.
Yeah, Swiss chard, all leafy
Swiss chard.
greens. The rainbow Swiss chard is, people
pretty.
really like that because of the color. It's
Yeah.
very beautiful. We should have some radishes and beet greens. Sorry, this week.
Oh, good.
And beets, shallots, sunflower heads still.
Now
Loose seeds.
talk about the sunflower heads,
Sure.
because I'll get back to more vegetables, but I bought one of your heads, and
Yeah.
I'm a former preschool teacher, and I'm just so excited about it. But didn't you have a run on them last week?
Yes, it's very popular with the teachers, we found out. So we grew sunflowers, one for seeds, and then mini sunflowers for just decorative flowers, but they also produce seeds. That's our only flower offering. And the large, full-size sunflowers we offer as full heads or as packages of seeds. And you can eat them, you can plant them, you can do art projects with them. So we found out the teachers like the heads because they can have the students, see the final product, take the seeds off, count the seeds. They can do math with them, and then they can plant them and start the sunflower in the springtime and then take it home with them and plant it in their garden next spring, and it gets them interested in gardening.
Now, you can eat these seeds, right? 'Cause
Yes.
I always used to. You don't have to wait till you go to the store and buy them in package.
Yeah, they are totally raw, so they're ready for you to do whatever you'd like with them. You could just roast them straight up and have unsalted sunflower seeds. You can soak them in salt water overnight in the fridge, and then roast them the next day, and then they'll be salted sunflower seeds.
Oh.
So people who like the salt, you want that high blood pressure. Or you can just save them. They've been dried, and they're perfectly viable. So they've been pollinated, and they'll produce a 7 to 8 foot tall sunflower.
Would you consider doing any more flowers?
Right now, probably not. But maybe in a couple of years, we might expand into some flowers. But we're trying to focus on expanding our produce.
Right, right. Well, your produce is beautiful. It's really.
Thank you.
And that's one of the exciting things. And also, I must say again that I thank you and your partner, Wendy, so much because you're actually the first farmer that agreed to come to the Walpole Farmers Market.
We started the whole thing.
You started it, and after you, others followed, and so, and there was 1 week when you didn't come, and people were, well, where are they? Where are they?
We took a long weekend for vacation. Yet we spoiled ourselves, and we missed one market.
You're certainly allowed to do that. You're certainly allowed to do that. But now, I love the way you have set up at the market the blue and white check tablecloths.
Yep.
Now this is going to be your mark. Like my blue hair is my mark.
Yep.
That's going to be your mark.
That's our symbol, right? Yep.
Yes, I really like that. And you have a lot of other equipment too. Am I right that you I can do a card if I want to?
Yeah, we accept credit cards. Yep.
Wow.
And we sign up for. What's the name of it?
PayPal?
No. I can't think of it.
It'll come to you. It's not that important, but it's wonderful to have you there, and I really like where you've set up because to me it's a good location.
The SNAP program. That's what I was saying.
We
sign up for SNAP so that people who have that can come next year. We'll be able to accept them.
I think I need to also get us certified as a farmers market to accept that too. So, but I'm going to pursue that. Wendy is your partner she's a wealth of information about the things that should be done and will be done.
A motivational force, that's for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now so now tell me about so you don't have a farm stand, so people would now how do I contact you, or how does anybody contact you?
We have a website, FAF Norfolk, FAFNORFOLK.com.
FAFNORFOLK.com.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can contact us through the website, through email. We don't have a number on there right now, but we'll have one soon. So you can give us a call, although we're always working in the field, so you can't really call us during the day.
So it's FAFNorfolk.com.
At. If you want to email us, it's just Sean, SEAN, at FAFNORFOLK.com.
Oh.
You'll get me.
Oh, good. I can handle that one.
And you can say, I want some of your delicious pork chops, or eggs, or both.
Right. Oh, good. Well, I'm going to see you on Saturday too. So
yep.
This is we're not vegetarians. And pork is a good meat because it's a white meat, and of course turkey is a white meat.
Yep. They're all
so
exercised animals. The pigs run through that field constantly, mostly up to the fence to see if anyone's there to give them a treat. If a car drives by and they see it, they might go inspect to see if somebody's coming to see them. We do have lots of visitors for the pigs. They are very popular. They get stay-at-home moms with the kids. They come walk by and say hi to the pigs, and so there's always somebody at the pig fence. We always see them down there visiting. So
And I also heard Wendy told me that when she's out in the yard, the turkeys just follow her around.
They will follow, yep.
And I know a friend of mine had the big turkeys, and you had to be so careful because they'd attack you.
When they get older, if you keep them around for breeding, they get hormonal. So yeah, they can get aggressive, just like a teenage boy. So yeah, you just got to be careful, if you keep those guys. But they're younger when they're going off to the processor, so they're just up to, for heritage turkey, you would process it before 30 weeks. So not even 1 year.
Just a kid.
Yep.
Just a little
They're just about hitting puberty, but not quite.
Not quite, not quite. Oh, this is exciting. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving this year. Well, I always cook one.
Yeah.
Last year was a disaster turkey.
Because you didn't buy it from me.
We didn't know about you, that's why. But now I do. So I know where to get my turkeys. And so now about how many hours a week do you think you spend on the farm?
Oh, I don't even know. I should probably track that better. But it seems like a lot. There's always something, we have to check the animals. Several times a day we're down with the pigs, feeding them twice a day, doing head counts to make sure they're all in their pasture. Because they do, get curious. They're not trying to run away. They just want to know what's over there. So they'll slip under a fence if they can dislodge it. We did have one escapee this year, our very first escapee, unfortunately. He got out for a few minutes, and then he wanted to get back in and couldn't remember where the hole was. So we had to help him through the gate and then patch the hole. But yeah, it's funny when they're on the wrong side of the fence.
And so do people come up to the house to see your turkeys?
We are a private residence farm, so we don't have public hours at the farm itself. We do try to make special appointments if someone's very interested in coming to see the animals. We'll try to schedule a date for them to come and have a little farm tour. We try to squeeze them in, but obviously we're busy farming, right. So it's not practical for us to stop every time someone comes by and give them a tour, and it would eat into our production time too much. We're out there planting or weeding or watering or feeding animals or harvesting and cleaning and getting it ready for the market. So. And
do you have a lot of equipment, tractors and all those things?
We have a little bit of that. Yeah, we're still starting off, so we're still in the growing phase. Luckily, our neighbor is a very nice gentleman who has a historic farm. He has all of that equipment, and so if we don't have it, we call him and ask him to borrow it, and he's very accommodating. So that's Mike. Definitely a big thank you to him.
And you said you have 2 silos. Where are they?
The silo's behind our garage.
Oh.
So kind of out of the way.
So is it a 2-car? 3-car?
It is a 2-car garage, yes.
Oh, okay. Ah, very good. I'm trying to visualize it. And what color is your house?
Blue.
Ooh, I love blue. I have a blue front door.
And a blue car.
And a blue car.
Yep.
And blue hair.
Yep.
It's good. It's good. So now, what happens during the winter months? Is that vacation time from the farm?
Not really. We do slow down. Obviously, we're not growing anything until the springtime. Late in the winter, we'll start seedlings and stuff like that. We have a small greenhouse that we'll have our plants in. We do some indoor seeding as well, for stuff that's very heat sensitive. The chickens are there all year. They're the only thing, and the ducks. They're the only animals we winter over, so they still need daily attention. Fresh water, fresh food. Their eggs collected before they freeze. They slow down in the wintertime with egg production, but if they keep themselves warm and they're happy, they'll continue to lay.
I heard that they need light.
Their laying cycle is controlled by the hours of the day. Yes, so in the wintertime, obviously the days are shorter, so they naturally realize that it's time for them to slow down and stop. But since they have so much food and they're so warm and happy, their body isn't stressed, so they sometimes keep laying. We usually have about a quarter of the production of the rest of the year in the wintertime. Also, one of the big things is molting. So in the fall, when it gets cold and the days are shorter, they will lose their feathers. Not a very good time, you would think, to lose all your feathers, but it's in preparation for the colder months. So they'll drop their feathers and they'll grow new, fresh feathers. And then while they're doing that, they won't be laying any eggs because they're busy. Their body's using all its resources for feather production. And then they'll have a nice, beautiful feather coat for the winter that's, perfect for keeping them warm.
Oh, isn't Mother Nature amazing?
Yep.
Amazing, amazing. Now I'm getting a sense of your whole cycle. So it's and do you ever think of growing Christmas trees?
We don't have that much space for Christmas trees. Unfortunately, it does take a large, setup. We're on the smaller side. If we did expand, I think we'd probably add an orchard or a blueberry patch.
Ooh.
That would be fun. We do have some raspberries, but they're just young, so they haven't really started producing very much. But we're hopeful to have some raspberries in the future markets.
That would be really nice.
And then maybe a small blueberry patch to start off with, and if we ever get more space, we can expand it.
That's really nice. Something really good to look forward to. Well, so just tell me again about how people go about getting a turkey or pork, and then we'll wrap it up.
You can come by Saturday and sign up for turkeys. We still have some available. Or you can reach out to us via email or to you.
Oh, good. I'd be happy to.
And we'll have them available for Thanksgiving. And if there's any that haven't been purchased, they will be frozen and available for Christmas or anytime you'd like. You don't have to have a special holiday to have a turkey. And same thing for frozen pork. Fresh cuts had to be pre-ordered. Everything else will be available frozen.
Good. Oh, good. That sounds wonderful. Well, thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
This has been great. I just love having you come, and you are our very first person for this program, and you're just such a delightful person, and it's been good to get to know you and have you come every week to the farmers market. So thank you so much.